Barrett, do you think the stain color turned out pretty good?
Yeah.
It's supposed to match that kind of close.
Looks nice.
I think we'll have to put 2 coats on to make it, but it should look good. What we're doing is this is for steps in a garage, so we don't want to spend $1 million on steps in a garage. So we got these pine treads. Okay, so the problem is you can't really buy a bullnose, and we'll show this later what that is if you don't know. Bullnose would be the top step on the landing where you don't have a tread, but you need a piece of bullnose to terminate where the flooring butts into it. So this is our flooring. This is the first time we've really ever used laminate flooring on a house, and it's working out pretty good so far. Don't you think, Barrett?
Yeah.
It looks pretty good in the house. But the problem with it is that it's kind of a floating floor. You don't really glue it down or anything. You've got shoe mold around the perimeter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little groove. And so this is basically the shape right here. We'll have this, and this comes out here like that because this is only supposed to be 3/4 of an inch right here. So we're just going to rip this down to 4 inches first. Man, I'm really liking my skill saw, table saw. But now we're going to make this little cut right here, which is 1.25 inches over, and then 1/4 inch up. Now is I'm just going to raise the blade up. Where it'll cut out that.
Yeah.
I can't go past. This little thing right here is a good guide. That should work. So now I need to set this to 3/4. That's how thick I want this to remain. I don't care how good your table saw is, you need to check the back and the front of the blade, because that whichever one is the narrowest dimension is what your table saw is going to cut. If this says 13/16 and that says 3/4, it's going to be 3/4. It ain't going to be 13/16. Ready?
Yep.
If this is your riser and this is your subfloor, that's going to sit on there just like that. So Barrett, now we're going to pretend this is our subfloor and this is our riser on our landing. And what I want is the flooring to come over here like this. Where's that piece of glue on? See, this will eventually be flush with this, right?
Yep.
But I want this to go under in there. See that little notch?
Yep.
I want it to go under there because this is a floating floor. So there's not going to be anything along this line holding this down. except gravity. And if you're a flat earther, then you realize that this is not going to work because it'll just float up in the air, right? Because this is less dense than the house, so this will just float. Gotta have some humor. So now what we're going to do is cut this little notch out. And I think we're going to axe this idea. I don't mean axe somebody, I mean axe the idea. This is going to leave a little, I'm afraid when you walk on this little piece right here, this is going to want to break off. And this is pine. The one thing about this system, they don't make pine bullnose for a reason, and it's because it's kind of soft and not very good for this kind of thing. So we're just going to do away with this idea, and we'll rip this off. We'll rip this first piece off so that it can just go right against it like that, right there. And so then we'll just kind of put some silicone under here to glue this down to the subfloor so it doesn't want to flop up. Because what I'm worried about is people, if this wants to flop up, people dragging their shoes on it. So now I made the mistake of grooving the wrong side. I wanted to groove this side to get rid of the stain. Now we're going to have to sand that off because we're going to stain the whole thing. So Barrett, we're over here on the job now, and over there's the steps. But I put a coat of this wiping stain. It says wiping stain, but it's almost like a paint. It's really bizarre. When it went on, it almost went on like a solid. And what I was really kind of wanting was a semi-transparent stain. Remember when we were asking them? So we're gonna have to put another coat, but this will basically be what it looks like when it's done. And we're gonna install the treads tomorrow. We'll do a part 2 for that.
Cool.